Article 110.26 concerning safe working space about electrical equipment other than switchboards and panel boards was introduced into the National Electrical Code in the year 2002. This means that if an electrical installation was performed in 2002, it would be necessary to ensure that the installation adheres to all of the requirements outlined in the 2002 version of the National Electrical Code, and that includes compliance with the specifications detailed within Article 110.26 regarding safe working spaces. It is important to understand the implications of this addition to the code and how it affects electrical work practices. This section of the code is crucial because it addresses the safety of electricians and other qualified personnel who may need to access and work on electrical equipment while it is energized. The dimensions and clearances specified in Article 110.26 are intended to provide sufficient space for workers to safely perform their tasks, reducing the risk of electrical shock, arc flash, and other potential hazards. The requirements outlined within Article 110.26 details specific minimum clearances and working space dimensions that must be maintained around electrical equipment. These dimensions are not arbitrary, but rather are carefully calculated to ensure that workers have adequate space to maneuver, use tools, and react safely in the event of an electrical incident. There are several factors that influence the required working space dimensions, including the voltage of the electrical equipment, the presence of exposed live parts, and the configuration of the equipment itself. The code specifies different working space requirements based on voltage levels because higher voltages pose a greater risk of electrical hazards. Equipment operating at higher voltages generally requires more working space to provide adequate protection for workers. The presence of exposed live parts also affects the required working space dimensions. If there are exposed live parts in the vicinity of the equipment, the working space must be increased to provide an additional buffer zone and reduce the risk of accidental contact. The configuration of the electrical equipment, such as whether it is mounted on a wall or freestanding, can also influence the required working space dimensions. Wall-mounted equipment may require different clearances than freestanding equipment to ensure that workers have adequate access and maneuverability. It is important to note that Article 110.26 provides specific guidelines for determining the minimum working space dimensions, but it also allows for some flexibility in certain situations. For example, the code permits the use of reduced working space dimensions in specific cases where the equipment is de-energized and properly locked out or tied out. However, it is crucial to carefully evaluate the risks and implement appropriate safety measures before reducing the working space dimensions. In addition to specifying the minimum working space dimensions, Article 110.26 also addresses other important safety considerations. These include the requirement for adequate illumination in the working space, the presence of clear and unobstructed egress routes, and the proper grounding of electrical equipment. Adequate illumination is essential for workers to be able to see clearly and identify potential hazards in the working space. The code requires that the working space be adequately illuminated to ensure that workers can safely perform their tasks. Clear and unobstructed egress routes are also crucial for worker safety. The code requires that the working space be designed to allow for easy and rapid egress in the event of an emergency. This means that there must be clear pathways leading out of the working space, and these pathways must not be obstructed by equipment, materials, or other obstacles. Proper grounding of electrical equipment is another essential safety measure that is addressed in Article 110.26. Grounding helps to protect workers from electrical shock by providing a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source. The code specifies the requirements for grounding electrical equipment to ensure that it is properly protected. When dealing with electrical installations, it is essential to always consult the most recent edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and any applicable local codes. The NEC is updated every 3 years to incorporate new technologies, address emerging safety concerns, and refine existing requirements. Using the latest edition of the NEC helps ensure that electrical installations are performed safely and in accordance with the best practices in the industry. While it is important to adhere to the code requirements that were in effect at the time of installation, it is generally recommended to follow the latest version of the NEC whenever possible. The latest version of the NEC incorporates the most up-to-date safety standards and best practices, and it may include revisions or additions that enhance the safety of electrical installations. Furthermore, many jurisdictions require that all new electrical work be performed in accordance with the latest version of the NEC. So, even if the original installation was performed under a previous version of the code, any modifications or additions to the installation may need to comply with the latest requirements. It is also important to consider that electrical equipment and systems can deteriorate over time, and they may require maintenance or upgrades to ensure their continued safety and reliability. When performing maintenance or upgrades on existing electrical installations, it is generally recommended to bring the installation up to the current code requirements, if feasible. This can help to improve the safety and reliability of the installation and reduce the risk of electrical hazards. In addition to the National Electrical Code, there may be other applicable codes and standards that need to be considered when performing electrical work. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and occupational safety and health regulations. It is important to be familiar with all of the applicable codes and standards and to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with these requirements. Moreover, it is crucial to emphasize that electrical work should only be performed by qualified and experienced individuals who have the necessary training and expertise. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it should never be attempted by untrained or unqualified individuals. Qualified electricians have the knowledge and skills to perform electrical work safely and in accordance with the code requirements. They also have access to the necessary tools and equipment to perform the work properly. When hiring an electrician, it is important to verify that they are licensed and insured. Licensing ensures that the electrician has met certain minimum requirements for training and experience. Insurance protects the homeowner or business owner in the event of an accident or damage caused by the electrician's work. Overall, understanding the history and evolution of electrical codes, such as the addition of Article 110.26 to the NEC in 2002, is essential for ensuring the safety and compliance of electrical installations. By following the latest code requirements, using qualified electricians, and performing regular maintenance and upgrades, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and create a safe working environment. Remember that the National Electrical Code is a living document that is constantly evolving to address new technologies, emerging safety concerns, and industry best practices. Staying up to date with the latest code requirements is crucial for anyone involved in electrical work, from electricians and contractors to engineers and building inspectors. By embracing a culture of continuous learning and improvement, it is possible to enhance the safety and reliability of electrical installations and protect the lives of workers and the public. Furthermore, the interpretation and application of the National Electrical Code can sometimes be complex and nuanced. There may be situations where the code requirements are not clear or where there are conflicting interpretations. In these cases, it is important to seek clarification from a qualified electrical inspector or code official. Electrical inspectors are responsible for enforcing the code requirements and ensuring that electrical installations are performed safely and in accordance with the code. They can provide valuable guidance on the proper interpretation and application of the code, and they can help to resolve any disputes or conflicts that may arise. It is also important to maintain accurate and up-to-date records of all electrical work that is performed. These records should include detailed information about the materials used, the installation methods employed, and any inspections or tests that were conducted. Maintaining good records can help to demonstrate compliance with the code requirements and can be invaluable in the event of a future problem or question. In addition to the technical aspects of electrical work, it is also important to consider the human factors that can influence safety. These include factors such as fatigue, stress, and distractions. Workers who are fatigued, stressed, or distracted are more likely to make mistakes, which can lead to accidents and injuries. It is important to create a work environment that minimizes these factors and promotes a culture of safety. This can be achieved by providing adequate rest breaks, managing workloads effectively, and promoting open communication and collaboration among workers. It is also important to provide regular safety training to workers to ensure that they are aware of the potential hazards and the proper safety procedures. Safety training should cover topics such as electrical safety, arc flash awareness, lockout/tagout procedures, and personal protective equipment. Finally, it is important to remember that safety is everyone's responsibility. Everyone who is involved in electrical work, from the electrician to the supervisor to the building owner, has a role to play in ensuring a safe working environment. By working together and embracing a culture of safety, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and protect the lives of workers and the public. In conclusion, understanding the history and evolution of electrical codes, such as the addition of Article 110.26 to the NEC in 2002, is essential for ensuring the safety and compliance of electrical installations. By following the latest code requirements, using qualified electricians, performing regular maintenance and upgrades, seeking clarification from code officials when needed, maintaining accurate records, considering human factors, providing safety training, and embracing a culture of safety, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and create a safe working environment for everyone. Remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process that requires constant vigilance and attention to detail. By staying informed, being proactive, and working together, it is possible to prevent accidents and injuries and protect the lives of workers and the public.